Hey everybody, and welcome to another video. This is the hobby table where hopefully we'll get some hobbying done. Now in today's video we're gonna be hobbying these bits of terrain, and the only reason this has gone to the front of my hobby queue is because I want to do some demos with this. And while I guess it's alright to do demos with grey plastic, but it's much nicer to do demos with colored stuff, colored pieces of terrain. And these are pieces from the StarCraft miniatures game. We did an unboxing of this set to have a look at that. The links in the description. Okay, so let's have a look at these one at a time, very slowly. Let's choose one at random. Yeah, let's choose one at the top. Okay, so what have we got here? We have the base, and this slot surface. If you have a look, it's quite nice. They've got this little shape here, which actually corresponds to the wall part of the terrain. Like, have a look at the wall part right here. As you can see, it's got this nice, shape, right? And it's like a plus, and it goes in there, so it slots pretty nicely. Chances is, well, I guess it's idiot proof, so chances of you making a mistake there is slightly slim. Hopefully. So this is basically the base, and if you look at the base, it's got some vegetation on it, which I will actually standardize the color of all the vegetation to be the same, right? They've got some stones here as well. So this won't be a standard, paint job. I'll probably go in and fix this up to look nice-ish, right? So you've got that as the base, and over here this assembles into a sculpture or statue or ruined statue. Now, very quickly, this bit of terrain is actually based off. I don't know if you've actually played the game StarCraft. Chances are you have, and if you have, then this whole set might remind you of one of the more famous levels in the when the game came out, the 1998 game. This is basically the Lost Temple. I double checked with the lore behind the making of the terrain set, and yes, this is inspired by the Zelnaga ruins, which is basically one of the levels in the 1998 game. So because of that, if you put this on your table, you can actually say you're playing your scenarios on Belshir, right? But if you don't really care, then just know that the people at Archon gave a nice nod to the RTS, which I thought was really nice. So yeah, so this bits make up the statue, and then you have the Vespine geyser. So this is gonna be, well, standard. It's gonna have a little bit of green in there that you can paint up for the geyser. So you got the longer wall right there, and the slightly shorter wall over there. Then even shorter wall right here. Sorry, base for the wall. So that's that terrain bit number one. And then you've got this bit over here. Now this is the wall, or the side wall. It's the same piece. So this is side wall that you put onto I think it's one of these. I think looks like it, one of these maybe. I'll double check later during the assembly. So they've got some little bits of vegetation here as well. The vegetation doesn't require you to like glue them. It's got a little slot here, which you can actually combine with a slot centered somewhere about there, I think. And it's got this X thing happening, which makes it kind of stable. Very simple idea. It's supposed to block line of sight. So really nice idea. The vegetation color on these will probably be the same vegetation for that one, I think. I'm not so sure, but it'll probably be the same. If I'm going to choose a green, then it'll probably be the same kind of green. So you have two of these, right? Next up, you've got the walls. Oh, the walls are actually, look at that. It's quite thick, right? So they're quite substantial. They're quite heavy. And here you got this little archway Now I'm tempted to do the wall in 3 colors. So maybe a gray, and then a blue gray, and then a white, and then maybe a white gray, if that makes sense. So it's a blackish gray, a whitish gray, and a bluish gray. So that way it won't look so flat. Because every time I paint something like this, I just go for the simple gray, flat, and it doesn't come out nice. And mind you, I haven't painted walls in quite a while, for tabletop. So this will be a first chance to go back in again and have a go. But as you can see over here, there's some vegetation to break up the monotony of color. Some vegetation over there, and this will probably go onto the base, as you can see, the ones that are here. Okay, so you got the 1 and 2 of these. So yeah, so what you get basically is, you have another base for the walls, right? And you can see again, plants, and you've got some pebbles and stones like that. But this one, there's a little obelisk that you put onto the table. I don't know how much cover this will do. I think when it comes to like nominating what terrain does what, I'm not so sure how much to cover this little banner over here, and this obelisk is going to do. But it's nice to have on the table, to give the table a bit of a vibe, of that, Zelnaga ruins, yeah. And I totally appreciate that it did it this way and not, give us like random, stones and random bases. So all of this seems to fit into the world of StarCraft, which I totally appreciate. It means it means that they care, and I like it when people care and add things or give a little bit of fan service. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna paint them, and the next part you'll see is hopefully them all done up and ready for the table. So the set comes with 15 pieces of terrain. These are inspired by the Lost Temple level, as I said before. I do appreciate the effort Archon Studio has made to make sure that 11 of the 15 pieces look different. While they can be arranged to serve as cover in any way the player wants, the design is consistent. I was not such a fan of the small bits of terrain. I did, however, like the statue head. It was made from 3 pieces. I am not so sure why. So perhaps somebody in the comments can tell me, who does 3D printing, why they needed to do this in 3 pieces. The temple obelisk is simple enough. Now, I'm not so sure how much cover this piece would give. A simple looking piece of terrain, but a very nice design. Then there is the Vespine geysers. I quite wish there were a few more of these, but this particular one was nicely designed. However, I do stand on perhaps having more than just one of these Vespine geysers. I was not a fan of the banner. I'm not so sure why they included this in the set, but I painted this the best way I could. I was also not a fan of the icon piece on the ground. Could have used the space perhaps, as I said, for another Vespine geyser. The shrubs were a nice idea, and I think done as a different feel to the overall stone terrain bits of the terrain set. In terms of design, a very good idea. And I must admit, they do look good lumped together. this is overall a very good looking terrain set. I enjoyed painting these, perhaps spent a bit too long on these in terms of painting. Having said that, without considering the wash or shade dry time, the terrain took about 6 hours, and it helped that the World Cup is on. So while watching the round of 32, I slowly put paint on plastic. Right, so that's pretty much the video. Show some support with a subscribe, and if you enjoyed it, a like. And as always, don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.